Welcome back to the show, everybody. This is the Shankly Sessions, the Liverpool podcast we bring you each and every week. Of course, if you head over to YouTube, smash that subscribe and bell notification button, and of course, drop a like on the video. This is your Leicester versus Liverpool preview coming at you Monday night, 8 o'clock, the Monday night football. We've seen what happened yesterday, and we're getting into talking about that. But as always, a few other bits and pieces to talk about as well. So thank you for joining me on this kind of Sunday lunchtime. Nice to have a little bit of time off and podcast and a bit of a run into our next game. Kind of looked at the results yesterday. The Newcastle one kind of favoured us quite a bit. And I did say in this top four race, even though we're barely clinging on and stuff like that, that we needed results heavily to go our way. And obviously the Wolves result yesterday didn't go our way. It was very poor. And unfortunately, United got the win, winning 2-0 against Wolves. Wolves just basically didn't try a jot there. They're basically on the beach at this stage, literally. I don't think they even had a shot on target, to be honest. But if you look at this game, this is a huge game now on Monday night to keep us in the top four race. We have to put a win on the board. 4 points now off Newcastle and Man United. And obviously Leicester fighting for their lives. 30 points, 2 points off safety at the moment. Not taking into account how the results might go today, Sunday. Morris is in the chat. Afternoon, sexy man. How are you? How's things? Hope you're having a good weekend. Loved the videos earlier with the kids at the show. It was quality. Absolutely great stuff. But yeah, Liverpool, is there a chance still? Can we still get top four? Can we turn it around? I don't know. I'm not too sure. I think what we are is we're kind of like a horse that's coming in the last furlong, isn't it? And we're gaining and we're gaining and we're gaining, but we're just going to maybe run out of ground. The finish line is going to come just a bit too quick for us, I think. But we have to go out and we have to win out till the end of the season and just see what happens. There could be still a twist. Big games coming up this week. Obviously, Newcastle are going to play Brighton, I think it is, on Thursday. Brighton still fighting for a European spot. And also they play Arsenal today. Morris is in, anti-football Newcastle being found out. Yeah, potentially, yeah. Even yesterday now, you look at it yesterday, that Leeds game was very, very, very strange. What was Bamford thinking? Good Lord, just stupid. Then Junior Firpo as well with that handball really paved the way really for Leeds, but they held on resolutely for a point. They're now a point from safety, depending on what happens with Everton today. So let's see how that goes. But still plenty to be sorted out, still plenty to be decided. Arsenal, of course, pushing today. They'll want to beat Brighton to maintain this title race. And City are also playing away at Goodison as well, which is a tough one. So lots of parameters and stuff going on at the moment. Today's results will be very interesting in how the table lies later. Also, don't forget tomorrow night, folks, we've got 2 shows coming your way. 7 o'clock early time, we're going to be doing the Monday mashup. And then at about 10:15, we'll be reacting to the Leicester game. So 2 shows on a Monday coming at you thick and fast. Make sure you're liking, subscribing. Hit that bell notification so you know when we go live. But the Monday mashup will be coming to you early tomorrow, 7 o'clock, so I can cover the Liverpool game and have the match reaction and player ratings right after. Morris, City full strength today. Yeah, interesting, isn't it? Interesting. No surprise, but I mean, when you say City full strength today, what exactly does that mean? Because what are they taking out one player and bringing in another one? Just 1 second. Here's the mascot. The mascot's after coming in there. How are you? All right? Good boy. But City are full strength. What are they doing? Taking out one player and putting in Foden, taking out another player, putting in Mahrez. What does full strength mean to City these days and all and stuff like that? But yeah, absolutely, I get your point. But yeah, it was an interesting day. I was hoping for Wolves to get some sort of a result to really tighten it up, but they didn't. United, I think their next game up is an away game to Bournemouth. And looking at Bournemouth yesterday, they look like they're potentially on the beach as well. So it's going to be really, really difficult. But I just wonder in terms of the Newcastle result, is that the one now with Brighton coming up chasing the European spot? Could Brighton do something against Newcastle? And then that would certainly ratchet things up if they could. So let's see what happens there. But look, we got to do our job, be professional, go out tomorrow night at the King Power, put the 3 points on the board, and just keep the pressure on that we're right on their tail. So if something does happen, we're ready to pounce. I don't want a situation, as I've said before on the podcast, where, we let it slip by a couple of points and stuff like that, and then they messed up and we missed out because we didn't keep our foot on the accelerator. So let's see what happens there. Right, let's get into this. Before we get into this preview, I wanted to have a chat about this. This I cannot understand. Mo Salah down in ninth. I know Liverpool haven't had the greatest seasons compared to what our expectation was, and obviously compared to last season. But I think to vote Mo Salah or put Mo Salah ninth behind all these guys is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I think Mo Salah, I think he's third at the moment in the goals and assists chart, which is all you can expect from a front man. I think, at times he has drifted out this season, but his stats are still pretty solid. No one's obviously touching Haaland. But I just think this Football Writers, it's a very, very strange one and stuff like that. Like, you look at, is there a place for Casemiro to be above Mo Salah? When you look at Casemiro, the amount of games he's missed and the red cards and all that kind of stuff, is that the case? You look at Declan Rice, who's been playing for West Ham. He's had a really, really good season, but West Ham have been down fighting relegation, although they're doing well in Europe. You look at Harry Kane at Tottenham. Harry Kane's been solid at Tottenham, but look at Tottenham. Are they having a better season than Liverpool? I wouldn't have thought so. Rashford has scored 2 goals in 3 months or something like that. He has drifted out, had a really good start to the season, has done really well, but in the last 3 months has basically gone missing, which finds Man United actually in a top 4 race that they should never be in. Kevin De Bruyne, without a doubt, Man City, no bother with him being there. Martin Odegaard, I think, has been fantastic for Arsenal, as has Saka. And Erling Haaland, of course, he sits top of the pile. There's no argument there. But to have Mo Salah down the night, I think is very, very disrespectful. And let us know your thoughts in the comments, what you think. Morris, you're in the same position as Arsenal. Just have to keep winning. Yeah, absolutely. We just got to keep winning and just hope that something buckles or something happens, Morris. What's Harry Kane done this year? A few penalties and tap-ins. Yeah, he's put up, his stats are up there and stuff like that. But realistically, if you look at Tottenham have been absolutely woeful this season. Absolutely crazy. Don't Andrea Wardy on now, their third manager or something like that, even if he's an interim. Casemiro should be in jail. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know, Morris, did you catch Harry Kane's dive yesterday? Good Lord. When is VAR going to start doing their job? But I thought I'd put that up there definitely for discussion and stuff like that. Mo Salah down in ninth is absolutely criminal. And whoever these Football Writers Association voting on this really need to take a good hard look at themselves. Mo Salah third at the moment in the goals and assist charts. And listen, it's no disgrace being behind Erling Haaland. But if you're putting Mo Salah behind Casemiro, Declan Rice, Harry Kane, Marcus Rashford, we need to have a conversation, don't we? We really need to have a conversation. The other one is the news coming out over the last couple of days, thanks to Anfield. Watch for the graphics, absolutely class. So that's why I use it. Looks the business. Why, this one is one I'm very happy about. It looks like it's going to be about 70 million. Looks like it's pretty close to being agreed. Wouldn't be surprised if it's announced over the next few weeks. But we look all in for this boy. I still see that we're pursuing Mason Mount and something like that, and I believe there's a deal there to be done at 50 million. I don't want Mason Mount anywhere near Liverpool, and certainly not for 50 million. And with Southampton getting relegated yesterday, is there an opportunity to move in there and do a deal for a few players? Because not only have we got players that we need to sign in terms of putting them into our starting 11 or what we perceive as our starting 11, we also need to fill out a bench that's going to be depleted. James Milner obviously going, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain going, Naby Keita going, and there could be one or two more as well. So there's a bench to be put together there as well, and you want a bench of a particular quality and stuff like that. So is there an opportunity to go into Southampton there and maybe sign a few players? Let's see what happens. Yeah, no, I didn't see it, but not surprised. I'm sure there's a compilation of his dive somewhere. He absolutely left his leg trailing over the goalkeeper and flew over him and did a flip. Keeper barely even touched him. And they ruled it. It's Morris, have a look at it. It's criminal, really, that VAR. Whoever was in VAR yesterday for the Tottenham game actually should be fired. That's how bad it was. Acers is in. Camavinga knee injury last night. Season over. Massive loss for Madrid on Wednesday. Yeah, big player. He's been a huge player for them, hasn't he? Camavinga as well. Yeah, he's been that real engine in midfield at times. His box-to-box play is just sublime and stuff like that. Wouldn't it be gas if Liverpool replaced Kelleher with Bazunu? Listen, don't be surprised. There was actually talk last night, Morris, after their relegation was confirmed, that City might bring Bazunu back. That was the talk as well that was going around. So let's see what happens. But I mean, I think if you're looking at building up a squad and you want to fight on all fronts next year and spring back, I mean, you'd have to be looking at James Ward-Prowse. You'd have to be looking at Lavia, the lad in midfield, and you'd have to be looking as well at Walker-Peters. They're three that stick out straight away to me as something that you might get a bit of value on and stuff like that, and might be able to bring in. And they're the three that kind of stick out overall from the season. You look at Southampton being relegated. I did a short on it there earlier this morning and stuff like that. But like they're fundamentally their own problem, really, aren't they? Because they rolled the dice on selling their top players season in, season out. They've been hovering around relegation now for a number of years, and just this year they just got it wrong. I think the appointment of Nathan Jones was crazy stuff. Hindsight is always a great thing, but I think once that kicked in, they were doomed. Villa. Sorry, I'm jumping around here. Morris first. What about replacing Chamberlain with Walcott? Absolutely not. One sick note is more than enough. We don't need any more. And we still have a few there that are sick notes ourselves as well. So we don't need to be adding to that situation. Good Lord, I know you're messing. Villa nail on for European League spot now. Potentially, yeah, could be all right. They're in good run of form, and we still have to play them. We have them at home next week as well, remember. So that's going to be a big one as well. But let's get into this match preview. It couldn't be any bigger in terms of the ramifications for it. It's a Monday night game, so we've been able to have the advantage of seeing everything ahead of us this time instead of being able to apply the pressure, which makes it even more significant. We're off to the King Power. Always a tough place to go. They'll always put up a fight, and especially now, still deep in a relegation battle and stuff like that. Their fans got booed last week. That 5-3 result against Fulham was mental, absolutely crazy. Obviously, us winning 1-0 against Brentford with the Mo Salah goal was very, very big for us. Again, you know, we did cough up a few chances, but Brentford were really, really poor. Shades of the time they played United, just didn't really show up as such. But we still needed to see it out that 1-0, and of course, clean sheets are always a great thing for a confidence builder, regardless. But this will be a different proposition because this is Leicester, and they do like the attack. I think I'll get some team news, but I think Iheanacho is still out, and that's very advantageous for us as well, because I think he's a really big player for them and stuff like that. But when you have players in your side like Vardy and Maddison and Barnes and Soyuncu from set pieces and stuff like that, it's really, really important that we're on it and on it from early doors. Nothing but a win will be acceptable. We have to win all the way out now. Leicester really, really struggling, no confidence at all. So let's delve into this and see where it takes us. So here we go. Let's get some team news. Obviously, run of form at the moment. We're 6 wins on the bounce and unbeaten in 8, so we're on a real good run of form at the moment, which is really, really important. For Leicester, it's been 3 losses, 2 draws, and a win in the last 6. So really, really struggling. No real changes to Leicester's situation in terms of fitness and stuff like that. Johnny Evans was back on the bench. I'd imagine Johnny Evans will probably start against us. He's really, really important for them at the back, and they've really, really missed him. Bertrand has a fitness test. James Justin is out with a calf. Vestergaard is out with a calf. And Iheanacho is ahead of schedule in terms of a groin injury, but will not make Monday night, apparently. So it'll be interesting to see Dean Smith what he does here in terms of changes. For us, the gaffer confirmed the other day in the press conference that Bobby won't make it and Keita won't make it. Surprise, surprise. Stefan, of course, is out with the abductor. He's gone for the season. Calvin Ramsey with the knee. Thiago with the hip. Seen video footage there of Thiago in Spain coming out. I think it was a hospital. He must have had some surgery or something done over there. He was on crutches and stuff like that. And Jordan got a knock. So we'll see what happens there, but probably should be available. So it's interesting to see what way he's going to go. If you look at the possible starting lineups at the moment for Leicester, you're looking at Everson, Pereira, Faust, Sonchu, Castagna, Ndidi, Dewsbury, Hall, Tete, Maddison, Barnes, and Vardy. And that Tete, Maddison, Barnes, and Vardy could be the undoing of us if we're not on it. And then, of course, at the back, Faust, we've seen what's happened there. He can be kind of got at, and he can be a little bit sort of erratic at times. So let's see what happens. And obviously, Everson and goals, he's certainly not Schmeichel, who left. So huge difference, and that's been part of the problem. Acers, Leicester will be relegated tomorrow night. Hopefully, let us know your prediction as well, Acers. Let us know your score prediction, what you're thinking. But if you look at our lineup, I think he might go with. I'm not sure. Most people are thinking he might go with Luis Diaz. I think he'll go with Diogo this time. I think he'll just kind of switch it from what he did last time. But obviously, Alisson and goals, Konate, Virgil, and Robbo, I'd imagine at the back. Trent will be there as well, but Trent's in more this inverted role at the moment. You're going to have Fabinho and Henderson, Trent, and Curtis on the left-hand side. Hopefully, he can continue his good form. And then I'm kind of thinking I want Diogo in there in terms of that Leicester back line. I think that could be a real good option. And then hold Luis Diaz to come on later on in the game, maybe. So I'm going to go with Jota, Cody Gakpo. I think his running from midfield as well and his link-up play with Trent has been excellent. That could bear fruit for us well. And of course, Mo, who's on fire at the moment, we already spoke about him, 9th in the Football Writers voting. Absolutely disgusting. Liverpool will destroy Leicester, poor defence. Yeah, I think so as well, Acers. That's my thinking on it as well. Predictions. I think I'm going to go for a 3-1 Liverpool win. We have been picking up clean sheets, but we have been coughing up chances. And I think if you cough up chances to Tete, Maddison, Barnes, or Vardy, you're probably going to drop one. But I think the one might be a consolation goal. I think we'll be 3-0 up at that stage when they score. So I'm going to go with 3-1 Leicester. Morris is going to go with 5-1. Yeah, Acers are still thinking Europa League next season for Liverpool. Yeah, it's a little bit after the euphoria of last week and results going our way. And although the Newcastle result kind of went our way at Leeds, still think it might be a stretch. The only thing I would say is that if we get the job done tomorrow night and we're still within a point of both of them, that really ratchets the pressure up on Newcastle. So let's see what happens there. And that could be absolutely huge because they've got to face Brighton then on Thursday. Brighton still fighting for a European spot. Let's see what happens today against Arsenal. So that game could be huge. Brighton is probably the last team you want to be playing if you're looking for points. And I say that both for Arsenal today and for Newcastle on Thursday. I wouldn't like to be playing Brighton looking for points. Now, I think Arsenal at the Emirates will have enough for them today. But I'm not sure whether Newcastle at St. James's, because if you see the way what Arsenal did to them and stuff up there, could that be a draw? Absolutely. And then that would open things up greatly. So let's see what happens. Morris is going for Liverpool 5-1. That's a big win. Yeah, take that all day. United will destroy Bournemouth on Saturday. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking the same, Acers. I looked at the game there yesterday. Palace with chance after chance after chance. Bournemouth just look kind of checked out. It looks like they've done what they needed to do. They know that they're safe, so they don't really kind of care. But let's see what happens. I mean, stranger things have happened, but I know there's a couple of pivotal Chelsea games coming up like that. And again, my concern at the moment is looking at Chelsea yesterday against Forest. I don't know whether Chelsea are going to have anything for these teams to impact on the top four race. But again, let's see what happens. We live in hope, as they say. We live in hope. But that's really it, folks. I'm thinking 3-1 Liverpool. That's my prediction. We will be back tomorrow with the Monday mashup, so we'll be reviewing all the Premier League action and also talking about stuff that has come out. We're going to have a talk about it. I don't know if you've seen, I put up a short there yesterday as well. The AC Milan Ultras addressing the team after a defeat in Serie A. Very, very interesting to see that kind of thing. And the team, it was like the team and the manager were sitting there being dressed down by the headmaster. It was mad to see. Like, it's absolutely crazy, but it's that fan power within some of those clubs is crazy. And should we know from the atmosphere in AC Milan and Italian football what it's like and stuff like that. But it was mad to actually see it. So we'll be talking about that. We're going to be talking about this Man United takeover. Absolute mess. Man United fan base going absolute crazy. Good Lord, if Ratcliffe gets in and the Glazers are still hanging around, what's going to happen there? An absolute mess. And we're also going to be talking about Poch being appointed Chelsea manager on what they call a 5-year deal. Is there such thing as a 5-year deal at Chelsea? But let's see what happens. We'll be talking about Poch as well. And we're also going to be talking about that fan that got onto the pitch and got up in Eddie Howe's grill. How does a fan even get that far? But one of the points that was made yesterday that I kind of was interesting to see as well is that, like, a lot of these stewards that are at the game, once the game starts, they tend to either stand or sit down, and they're basically just watching the game like spectators. But this guy got all the way to Eddie Howe, which is really, really strange. Morris is in. United have been getting destroyed on the road all year. They have, but if you look at that Bournemouth team yesterday, didn't look like it was going to pull up any grass anytime soon. It was a poor performance, really. But again, let's see what happens when the pressure is on. If we can put the 3 points on the board tomorrow and reduce it down to a point again, once you feel the heat of that pressure, anything can happen. But let's see. But I think the thing about it is, I think United's home form might see them through. That was a big win yesterday against Wolves, and you could feel the nerves. I was listening to some of the content creators yesterday as the match was unfolding, and you could feel and sense the nerves off them in terms of Wolves, with a bit more application and, with a bit more guile and a bit more jest, maybe could have done something, but they didn't. Glazers have told bidders have to wait for their decision. Yeah, I see that delay again there as well. It's kind of, look, does anyone think this is going anywhere else? Only Jim Ratcliffe. We'll talk about it tomorrow night in the Monday mashup, but I don't even think this is even a bona fide sale. I think this is market manipulation. I think the Glazers, this is the equivalent of legalized insider trading, I think. I don't know what's going on there. There's been 3 rounds of bids, still not good enough. Ollie back at Old Trafford yesterday. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. And at times they were talking about they were playing Ollie ball. So Jim is best for business. So Jim is best for us, Morris, because it keeps that craziness going at a board level at United and stuff like that. But it's just, I don't know what to make of this. 3 rounds of bids, still haven't found a preferred bidder to proceed with. The talk is it's going to be Sir Jim because he's buying, I think, 50%. The Glazers are going to hang on to about 25%, I think, Joel and Avram. The other siblings are moving out there, selling their share. But the boys look like they want to hang around, you know what I mean? And I don't think, look, if you think about it logically, Qatar has more or less bidded 5 billion. The Glazers are trying to value it at 6 billion. The club is not worth 6 billion. It's way overinflated in the market. With what has to be done there and the debt that has to be serviced and all. So it's absolutely crazy. Glazers are still demanding 6 billion. Yeah, and I think they have Ratcliffe over a barrel, isn't he? Paying something like 3 billion, I think, for 50%. So that's the equivalent of 6 billion. So their thinking is down the road, then, they might be on a huge windfall. I think the siblings stand to get about, I think, is it 700 million each or something like that, something in the region of that, 750 million each. The Glazers, the 2 boys, they're obviously valuing their share in it at about maybe 1 billion each or something like that. That's what they perceive they can get, or they could hang around the valuation, keep on growing. Glazers doing an endeavour deal with them to remain in charge. Yeah, absolutely. And it's just, Listen, would we be surprised if they ended up buying the shares back off Jim Ratcliffe in 3 or 4 or 5 years? Goodness knows what might happen. That might be the deal, the side hustle that's done. But you can see the share price has been fluctuating all over the New York Stock Exchange and stuff like that. So, but there's a lot of stuff going on in the background on this that people don't know about, and a lot of it is market manipulation and stuff like that. So, let's see what happens. But we'll talk about it more tomorrow night when we see what unfolds, because I think Qatar have until, is it tonight or tomorrow, to rebid or something like that, or change their bid or whatever it is. But I think they're nailed on going with Ratcliffe. That's how it looks. 5 billion Sir Jim has bid it. Yeah, I don't think he has. I think it's the value of that. I don't think he has. I think he's bid it somewhere around 2.9 or 3 billion for 50%. I think that's what he's gone in with. And then the two boys remain with 25%. And then the other 25% is floating in the ether of shareholders. And the 4 other siblings from the Glazer family, they're taken out of the picture and paid off basically as part of Jim's takeover for it. So let's see what happens. But I think they're favouring a situation where they're keeping one foot in the door. And I don't think the Qataris want to offer that. They want a full and final sale. They want the Glazers out of the picture. See, I think ASUS as well. Qatar will bid 6 billion because they won't accept the fee. I think even if they bid 6 billion, I think the Glazers will still go with Ratcliffe, because Ratcliffe's bid is the equivalent of 6 billion. So I think they're favouring them hanging around, and I think they're bringing Ratcliffe in to be that shield. But let's see what happens. But anyway, listen, that's your match preview. Got to go, folks. Got to jump off. A few things to do today. I will be back, obviously, tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. Check it out. Early time for the Monday matchup. 10:15 for the match reaction. As Morris says, enjoy your Super Sunday, folks. I hope Arsenal continue to do the business and keep the title race alive. Let's see what Everton can do at Goodison. We wouldn't have expected what they did last time out. That came out of nowhere. So let's see, can they ensure their safety by doing what they're doing, and see what happens. Me think City will be too much for them, but you just never know. We all live in hope at the moment. Top 4 race, title race coming at you today and tomorrow evening. Del Boy chat later today as well. Yeah, check out Del Boy's channel later today as well. And obviously, Warren is doing one on Tuesday as well, on the Diesel Arsenal channel related to Jeffrey Epstein. That should be very interesting. And always check out Warren's shows and stuff like that. And Henry's channel and Morris's channel, of course, dropping content all the time, like myself. So any of the channels that are in there, obviously continue to support them and check them out. The subs are growing. Let's keep it going, folks. I'll talk to you again real soon.